Good morning, eighth grade. Good morning, eighth grade. I'm going to try to make this super brief. I hope everybody had a great weekend. You could probably see from the title of this, it says Fudge and Popcorn Fundraiser. This is actually our last fundraiser to support raising funds towards the New York City trip. Before we start talking about the logistics, I've already been asked by students like, oh, why do we need to do this? We provide these opportunities so that families have ways that the money that they have to pay for trips or things like that don't come directly out of like their bank account, where you could ask family and friends to support you. They buy a product, they get something, and then you benefit from that. So it's kind of a win-win for everyone. I did this fundraiser last year with just the fudge, and it was actually really popular. We do it this time of year, so it's delivered just in time for Valentine's Day. And quite frankly, by the beginning of February, some people give up their New Year's resolution to eat healthy. So by February, they're ready to have something sweet. 50% of whatever you raise today goes towards the trip. So for example, a box of fudge is $9 and you would get $4.50. A bag of popcorn is $7 and you would get $3.50. So half of whatever you sell, half of the money goes to pay for the items with the company, and the other half is applied to your trip. If you are not going to New York City, you're like, oh, why do I need to do this? A couple of reasons. One, we do have a trip at the end of the year, the beginning of June, for the entire eighth grade to go to Quasi for the day. Last year we did it and it was a really fun day. It's $60 and it includes the water park, the amusement park, and a full buffet lunch. So you could go for the day and not need any money. And so if you do this fundraiser and you're not going to New York City, you do have the option to put those funds towards that. And then if you're not going on either, or you don't want to put the funds, you could just do it to support the class. Last year, and the last few years, we have something at the end of the year called the pre-promotion party. And I know you probably have heard us say it, and it seems like a long ways away, but it really isn't, because June will be here before you know it. Last year, we had inflatables. We had one of those 360 photo booths. We had food, tons of different things. That party was free of cost for students. Like, it didn't cost any money to come. The class paid for it because we did so much fundraising. This class this year, we need to do more fundraising. Unfortunately, everything gets more expensive because of the times. I was a little disappointed because only about 15 out of 240 students in eighth grade sold donuts. And it's a lot of work to put it together. They delivered it. It worked out well for the people who did it. But out of 240 students in the entire eighth grade, I was really disappointed that only 15 students took advantage of that opportunity. And then some who did take advantage of it we had a student pay for half their trip just with the donuts. And they probably could do the other half with this fundraiser. So if you're saying to yourself, or you've said to an adult, I really can't go on these trips because it costs too much money. Well, these are the opportunities that you have to make that happen. And I'll be honest with you, as you guys enter into high school and you get almost to the age where you could have a part-time job, you're going to be in a position where you're going to be able to start earning your own money. And your parents aren't always going to be expected to provide everything for you. So if your parents are saying it's too much money, or they don't want to give you the full amount, put some work in, put some effort in, and do the fundraiser, and show your parents that it means something to you and you want to be able to experience it. If you're really still interested in going to New York City and you haven't filled out forms, please talk to me today, because I do have some scholarship funds. And if you do this fundraiser, I can even help you more, because the people who do fundraisers get more scholarship funds than the people who don't do them. Last thing, the person who sells the most items in this fundraiser, total items, will get their trip to Quasi paid in full. So you will go to Quasi for the day for free if you are the highest fundraiser from this fundraiser. Another incentive is the homeroom with the highest amount of participants will have a pizza party. So that's the number of sellers in the homeroom, not the number of items, That means if half the homeroom sells, but another room has everybody in the homeroom sell at least one item or more, they're going to win that pizza party. So 2 great opportunities to compete. I know we're super competitive. Homeroom teachers are going to help promote it. It's by your homeroom, not any of your classes. You are going to get today 2 order forms, one with Fudge. It has all the descriptions. There's a bunch of crazy flavors, and an order form, and then a order form for popcorn. Same thing, a bunch of crazy flavors here. There's some dietary information too if you have people with allergies that are buying. It's always good information to have. You're going to submit both of these order forms to me, back to me. There's going to be a green cover sheet that has some directions there. You're going to bring the payment to me with your tally sheet by January 28th. So it gives you about a little over 2 weeks to sell. And then I place the order and it arrives right before Valentine's Day. So you will pick it up. You will be responsible for delivering it to whoever you sell it to. For those of you who don't already know this, many teachers in the building always will be interested in purchasing, but they usually want to buy from the first person who asks them. So please be, if you're interested, please don't be annoying about it, but be respectful, especially if a teacher says, you know what, people have already asked me. If your family or family members work at an office or a place or a store or somewhere that has a lot of other employees, this is something great to leave on the table. Oops, upside down, with a little note from you that says, I'm raising money for my 8th grade class trip. I would appreciate anybody who's interested in buying. When somebody sees like that, because there's teachers here who have done it, and it's a handwritten note from the actual student who benefits, it's a really, like, it tugs. And then you're like, oh, maybe I don't want the fudge or the popcorn, but I'll give you a donation. And some of you experienced that with the donuts. People didn't want the item, but they gave you a donation. So people turned in donations and got full credit for those. And then 50% for whatever they sold. So a great opportunity. I really, I'm putting these incentives about the free Quasi trip and the pizza party in place so that more people will do these kinds of things. Even if you're not going on a trip, but your family buys the items, that counts towards helping your homeroom win that pizza party. So I will make sure these get delivered by Core 4 to everyone. The green part is being printed as we speak. I appreciate the teachers. I really appreciate the teachers who ran around and made sure that if a room had a sub in there, that this was on. I'm going to send this recording out to families. I'm going to put it on Google Classroom. So if you know somebody that was absent who was like, what is happening, please direct them to do this. If you have any New York City payments, please bring them down to me at some point during the day. Have a great day and see me if you have any questions. Take care.